And when they begin to explore these things, it starts to be exciting, right? It starts to be exciting. But unfortunately, motivation is temporary. Discipline creates permanent.
Greetings, well builders. Welcome to Get Diversified, your go-to podcast for all things real estate investments.
I'm Jacqueline.
Melvin Landry. We're thrilled to embark on this wealth building journey with you.
Imagine this. What if your investments not only secure your future, but also unlock a life of financial freedom? That's what we're diving into on this show. Apartment buildings, storage facilities, mobile home parks, the whole shebang.
But here's the kicker. It's not just about investing. It's about crafting a legacy, building memories with your loved ones, and seizing every moment. Time is the currency of life. And let's be real, none of us wants to waste.
We've got the insights, experience, and dash of excitement to spice up your investing game. Plus, we'll throw in some real-life stories that'll make you see the potential in every brick and mortar.
Subscribe, buckle up, and get ready to turn your investments into the ticket to financial freedom. Together, we're not just building wealth, we're building a community of savvy investors. Let's get diversified.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Get Diversified. I am your host today, Jacqueline Landry, in case you're tuning in for the first time. And I have a very special guest, Dave Seymour. Dave, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's nice to be called special early in the morning. You know what I mean? My mom used to call me special. My wife loves me, so she calls me special. You just called me special. I feel good.
So guess that's great. All right, so I'm going to give Dave a little introduction here, and he can fill in some of the color commentary. So a retired 16-year veteran of the fire service launched his real estate career during the last market crash. Let's do this again. Okay.
No, let's not do it. Hold on. Time out.
Yes.
I love this. I love these moments. I beg your editors not to change either the audio or the video. And here's why.
Okay.
Here's why. Watch. One, I can't be offended. And number two, wouldn't it be great if life was perfect every single time we try? Right? Wouldn't it be great, right? There's a lesson in everything.
I usually don't have them do this, but I want to give this another try. All right.
Give it another go.
All right. One more
Do
time.
it.
So a retired 16-year veteran of the fire service launched his real estate career during the last market crash, rapidly becoming one of the country's top investors. Davis is considered a leading expert in commercial multifamily and ground-up development transactions. His success in business and real estate put him on the radar of A&E Television Network, as well as multiple news organizations like CBS, ABC, CNBC, and Fox News. Flipping Boston aired on A&E for multiple seasons. Dave is a no-nonsense investor with zero tolerance for inefficiencies. I love that. He has helped many accredited investors on their very first deal, as well as guided them through large investment, as well as guided them through their first deal, as well as large investment firms through complex transactions. Dave's unwavering commitment to success is why investors seek his advice and choose to invest alongside his team at Freedom Venture Investments. Ta-da! Drum roll.
We got to make that sucker shorter. We got to make it shorter, Jacqueline. That's way too long.
No, I love that because it grounds you of who you are as a person. It grounds you why people should invest alongside with you, given that you have the right credentials. So right on, Dave. This is exactly what I love on my guests to start off with. And I want to hear a lot about all this other stuff. But hey, we are here to talk about teaching corporate professionals the fast track to retirement growth through multifamily investing and partnerships.
Yeah, we are. We can definitely cover that.
All right. So let's start off, Dave, by first filling in anything that I didn't include in the intro about yourself.
Oh, look, the intro is interesting, right? I listen to that intro, Jacqueline, and I always look over my shoulder because I want to know who the heck we're talking about. I don't know about you. I don't know about your listeners. I can only share my experience, my strength, my hope when it comes to, this world of wealth creation and legacy for the next generation and, all the things that we seek, right? We're seekers, right? I don't know about anybody else. I was very uncomfortable as an employee. And I didn't know why until I went on the journey of entrepreneurship. I am a blue collar kid at heart. I emigrated from England in the late 80s. we were talking off air. I went from New York City to Wheeling, by God, West Virginia. You want to talk about a culture shock, right? But it's amazing to see what's happened in the Ohio River area, because when I went there, it was right on the end of the Reagan era, and it was depressed. Pittsburgh was depressed, where you are. West Virginia was hurting. Appalachia was tough. The mines had shut down, the steel mills were shut down. There was nothing going on. And here's what's interesting about that is that whenever there's a correction, whenever there's a transference of power, for want of a better word, right? Whenever that happens, there will always be victims and victors in those circumstances.
Absolutely.
I went through it personally myself. As you said in the intro, I was blessed. I moved up to New England. I got a great job as a firefighter and a paramedic, and I worked 16 years in the city of Lynn, Massachusetts. And it's funny, the blue collar mentality. And this, please, whoever listens to this, it's not a judgment. It's not a better than or a less than. We're all good human spirits trying to do the right thing every day. But, there is a ceiling of success that comes with trading time for money, right? And my father, I love my old man. He's 83 years old. I just talk to him every Sunday. And best advice he gave me as a young man was, Dave, work hard, son. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. Keep your nose to the grindstone. Keep your head down, boy. Do the right thing, right? If you're lucky enough, you'll find a woman who loves you. You might find a job. And then after about 45 years, you'll retire. You probably won't earn enough money, son, to own a house, but you'll be all right. Go on. What? Right?
Well, I'm glad to hear that you got the same scoop that I did.
Yeah, right. Go to college. Let's go to college. And, you share with me that your husband is a professor. Look, I don't make any of the rules. I don't. My 15-year-old, your husband probably won't appreciate this next comment, but my 15-year-old has watched his dad, work in entrepreneurship, all the ups and all the downs, all the heartbreak of real estate investing done wrong and the joys of real estate investing done right. And my 15-year-old said to me and he's wicked, as we say in Boston, wicked smart. And off the charts, he's doing collegiate classes at 15 years old. Gets it all from his mother, for sure. But he says to me the other day, right, the advice is so different today. He says to me the other day, he goes, Dad, if I go to college, he said, I've been figuring out why. I said, okay, Jeff, why do you want to go to college? He said, Dad, I've got to learn how to socially interact with the people that I'm going to employ when I graduate.
Ooh, I love that. Ooh. That means Dad and Mom did a good job.
Hope so. I hope so, right? I hope so. Because at the end of the day, it's information in, information out. And, if you, Jacqueline, got that same information I did, we're starting at a place of challenge, for want of a better term, right?
Yes.
Not to say that working hard every day for somebody else is a bad thing. It just has a ceiling attached to it.
Yeah. So look, hey, Dave, I got
go ahead.
An add-on to that story. So our 10-year-old last year, he had a day where he had to go work as part of his school program. He had to clock in, he had to dress nice, he had a certain role that he had to do. So he puts on some nice pants. I said, son, you got to look nice when you go to work. And he goes, okay. And he was like, yeah, Mom, I'm not excited. And I go, why? He goes, because I'm just going to the rat race. And I go, and so why do they call it the rat race again? So he is our chief marketing officer. We're teaching him. We've been teaching him for a few years now, just to know about this stuff. And he goes, Mom, I just don't want to receive a paycheck, spend it, receive the next paycheck and spend it, and work, and then hope I have enough money to retire. So anyways, but his face was like this.
Yeah.
And then one time I told him I was going back to work. And he cried. And he said, Mom, we're better than this. You don't need to be in the rat race because there's other ways to make money. Anyways, but continue on with that topic.
Look, that is the topic. That is what we just discussed in that 5-minute window, Jacqueline. That's everything. That's absolutely everything. People tend to explore new things for a while, whatever it is. It might be entrepreneurship and a career change. It might be a relationship. It might be their faith. It might be whatever it is, the thing that's going to fix them. And when they begin to explore these things, it starts to be exciting, right? It starts to be exciting. But unfortunately, motivation is temporary. Discipline creates permanency. Let me say that again. Motivation is temporary. Discipline creates permanency. So just in the language that our kids hear is a discipline. It's a discipline, because I can fall back into Dave, the construction worker, Dave, the firefighter, Dave, the kid who worked in a butcher's shop when he was 14, 15 years old. I can fall back into all of those places, but I have to remember there are little ears around me. So if the little ears can hear it, why can't the 40-year-old executive, 45-year-old executive, why can't she hear it? Why can't he hear it? Because they have a life experience that has taken them to a place of discontentment, and then it's the fear factor of investing in a multifamily deal as an LP, investing in a multifamily deal as a co-GP, investing in a mixed-use facility, a flex project, investing in sober housing, investing in applications and apps that help people live a better life. These are all new territories. And the magic I've found is do your due diligence. Do your due diligence. Investigate the people, because, as you said in the introduction there, we're going to talk about how we at Freedom Venture and Legacy Alliance, which is our education arm, how we teach busy professionals just like you, Jacqueline, just like you've already learned. We teach people just like you, what would it be like if you owned a small piece of a cash flowing, appreciating piece of real estate that could pay you while you slept? Sounds like a hoax, sounds like garbage. It happens every single day for wealthy people, for
So
the millionaires, the billionaires.
I'm going to be my mom for a second.
Yeah, do it.
Jackie, is this like legal? So love my mom, smart woman.
Yeah.
But again, this is so foreign to her that she would actually ask me a question like that, that say,
my father did.
Is this a pyramid scheme? Is this legal? Because the concept is just so obscure that folks that were born in the late 50s didn't understand. If you weren't brought up in
America,
that environment.
In America, they're still bringing some of the depression mentality and downflow of what that created in this country. Like that, there is an inert remembrance of pain and failure that sticks and holds on a lot longer than success and joy. Just is. I don't know. That's the way we're built, right? It's the way we're built. If you've ever fallen in love and had your heart broken, it's really hard to fall in love again. We remember the pain more than we remember the pleasure. So what happens is in that financial world, look, I'll be honest with you. Watch this. Ready? If you would have loved to have ridden with me in the state of Massachusetts when I was a firefighter and a paramedic, and I would have to go to old people's homes, elderly service places, where people who did not have the ability to retire, they did not have the ability and the financial wherewithal to look after themselves. And these people would go to, state-run facilities. They got really nice names for the Wishing Pines, old people's place. It doesn't matter about the name of the Wishing Pines. It's 20 old people to one trying to die with dignity because they have no resources. They have no depth. They have no cash flow. And it's a horrible, horrible system in which everybody's been sold into. Max out your 401k. Well, why? Because that's what everybody else is doing.
Right.
Well, why? Because the marketing noise and the language for 401k and Wall Street's abilities is much louder than our tiny little podcast that we're recording today, Jackie. God willing, our message gets through to one or just two people that we can save from the Wall Street chaos. Why? There's balloons going in the background. Did you see that?
I did. That was awesome. I didn't do that.
Let's try that. Sometimes you get a doubt. Yay! So I don't even know how that happened. It's the grace of God coming down and celebrating. But seriously, it's the marketing messages are so strong in one area that we very rarely can get a different message through there. And then, like I said before, why is it that, the younger generation can say things to you like, Mom, that's the rat race? Or my son say, I'm going to college to learn how to, interact with people I'm going to hire when I graduate. That messaging is in our home. How hard is it to get that messaging out? If you're a corporate professional and you don't have confidence in your retirement, you don't have confidence in the fact that you're going to stay at the same job for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years. If you don't have confidence that your profession is resistant to AI, your profession is resistant to all of the external forces out there that are trying to take away what you have, then what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it, right? You're going to just sit there and look around at some point in the future and go, hey, what the heck happened? Or do you start investigating? Seekers seek, finders find.
And
Knock and the
Dave,
door will be
it's
open.
going to get worse.
Yeah, it is.
So
it
yeah,
is.
I was actually listening to not to cut you off, but I was listening to
No, you're good.
A podcast, and they were talking about how many years big organizations have been investing in AI silently. Okay. And so now the silence is over. AI is here. Over one night, AI just appeared. And I go, holy shit, there's this thing called ChatGPT, and there's this thing called Notebook LM, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But guess what? Next is going to come the big layoff, because they've invested thousands and millions and multi-millions in AI. But if they don't start cutting heads, then it's all going to be for naught.
For
right?
sure.
So that's the next phase that we're going to see, is mass layoff in large organizations. And what are you going to do if you don't have that second or third source of income?
You know who's going to get whacked the worst is the corporate professional, because I can press a button and get a flow system for a business in 30 seconds to an hour. I can get an org chart created for any industry. I can have AI run through all of my attorney's documents and pull out all of the things that I'm concerned about as the person who's signing those documents or not signing those documents, as the case may be. All of those things are happening, like you said, right now. So that corporate professional, that 150 to 350 and above, that earning capacity, well, they're accredited investors, as you know. Those people can own a piece of a cash flowing real estate asset. They can own a piece of a light industrial. They can own pieces of businesses if they understand mergers and acquisition. Legacy Alliance is our education arm, Jacqueline, and note that's who we're focusing on. We're just trying to get a message out to these people. Now, is it all about them? Am I doing this because I'm a good guy? Absolutely not. No. You can invest a couple of bucks to learn what we learn, come out of the other side of it, and then have a potential partner to do deal flow with you. Now, they could be, as you are in some of your deals, just come in a passive capacity and put money to work. We don't underwrite anything unless it's an X over a 5 to 7 year run, 2X double your money over 5 to 7 years. Not a bad investment compared to the stock market, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe they just want to own it themselves, as you do as well. I mean, I love the way before we started recording, you share, this is what we do. My husband still works. This goes on, that goes on. He does this, I do that. I'm the money lady, right? I look at the tax benefits, which, as you and I know, are through the roof, right? Depreciation, cost segregation. I mean, I get so excited. It's really great when you earn a lot of money and you don't have to give it to the government to waste it. It's a really
Dave,
good feeling.
One of the things that we preach and that I like to always discuss on our podcast, Get Diversified. Well, where the hell did that name come from? You can't just think about rental income, because guess what? I can be buying buildings, doing nothing else. Then guess what? I'm not going to keep a lot of that money in my pocket because I'm not dealing with the tax side. You got to think about both sides. You got to think about, if you get rental income, can you do cost segs? Is it worth to do cost segs? How long are you going to keep it? What's your exit strategy? But you have to think about both sides of the spectrum. I had a friend probably a few months ago. She said, oh my God, I have $100,000 tax bill I have to pay at the end of whatever 2023. I'll just make it up. And she goes, so I'm going to have to work more as a doctor so that I can pay for that tax.
Earned income. Earned income. Earned
Wait a
income.
minute. Which is totally crazy. But anyways, just another idea. Instead, if she were to be smart with her doctor's salary, she would take 50 or 100 or 200,000, whatever she can afford to give up and be able to lose, because let's face it, Dave, not everything that we do is win all the time.
No, it's an investment and it comes with risks. Sure, absolutely.
And there's always people that come on the podcast and talk about, oh, this is how I did it. Everything's great. And shit, no, it's not. It's not great.
Right.
And so anyways, if she would just have been smarter with her money, she would pay no tax, or maybe even be able to recoup the money that was taken out of her check. Right.
I've seen K1s where, they get to write off everything they earned. You know what I mean? Like I've seen that. I've given out those K1s. I've also given out K1s where they just break even, right? To your point, not everything is a huge success. I can guarantee 100% failure in this business, and that's not do anything.
Jacqueline and Melvin, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to this episode of Get Diversified. Please make sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on future episodes. Finally, stop by our website and follow us on social media. Ciao for now. Make it a great day, and we'll see you next time. And remember, get diversified.